Hi there, you're on IGCSE Maths Tutors. In today's video we're going to present probability. Now probability is sometimes loved by some of you, and there are those of you who find it a little bit abstract. So let's try and simplify this concept. We'll start off by the toss of a coin. How many faces does a coin have? Of course, we have heads and tails. If we flip a coin, what is the chance of getting a head? Well, it's quite simple. It's one chance out of two possibilities. Therefore, we call this a probability of 1 out of 2. Or we can also say that the probability is 0.5. Or if we want to put it in percentage form, we can say that the probability is 50%. Now, if we flip that same coin, what is the chance of getting a head or a tail? Of course, that's all that we've got. So the probability is 2 out of 2 or 1. Or in percentage form, we can also say that it is 100%. So we have 2 chances out of 2 possibilities. Now, if you would like to present this in a mathematical form, we can say that the probability of getting a head or a tail equals to the probability of getting a head, which is 1 out of 2 chances, plus the probability of getting a tail, which is also 1 out of 2 chances. So the summation would be finally a 1 or 100%. Now, turning to a die, how many faces does a die have? Well, it has 6 faces. What's the chance of getting a 3? Well, it's just one of those 6 faces. So it is 1 out of 6 or 1 over 6. If we would like to present this in a decimal form, it will be 0.167. Or in percentage form, it will be 16.7%. Now, what are the chances of getting a 3 or a 6? So now we are increasing our chances of getting what we're looking for. So it is 2 out of 6 or 1 out of 6 for the 3 plus 1 out of 6 for the 6. So the summation would be 2 over 6, or if you simplify this, you get 1 over 3. In the decimal form, this would be 0.333, or in percentage form, it will be 33.3%. As you notice, or increases your chances, therefore we add the probabilities. Now, if we throw 2 dice, not a single die, if we throw 2 dice at once, what are the chances of getting a 3 on the first dice and any number on the second dice? Well, to get a 3 on the first die, it is 1 out of 6 for the first die. For the second die, it will be 100% of the time. So to get 3 on the first die and any number on the second die, it is 1 out of 6, 100% of the time for the second die. So it remains 1 out of 6. How about getting a 3 on the first die and any 3 numbers on the second die? Now note that any 3 numbers means 50% of the chances. So this means our chances are 1 over 6 for the first die in 50% of the time for the second die. So it is 50% of 1 over 6, which is 1 over 12. From these 2 situations, we can conclude that the probability of having 2 conditions, which is something that is harder to get, is the probability of the first condition multiplied by the probability of the second condition. To sum up, the probability of event A, we call this P of A, and the probability of event B, we call this P of B. An event is simply getting a head or getting a tail on flipping a coin, or getting any specific number while throwing a die. So the probability of event A or event B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B. While the probability of event A and event B, this is making things a little bit harder because we are having more requirements. A and B is the probability of A multiplied by the probability of B. To terminate this lesson, we are going to present another example. What is the probability of flipping a coin twice and getting a head on the first flip and a tail on the second flip? Note that a head on the first flip is 1 out of 2, and a tail on the second flip is another 1 out of 2. And since we require the two conditions to happen, a head on the first and a tail on the second, we multiply both probabilities and therefore we end up with 1 over 4. In contrast to this, what is the probability of getting a head or a tail on the first flip and a tail on the second flip? A head on the first flip is half, or a tail on the first flip, or means that we add the probabilities. This is another half, so it's half plus half, and then we add an extra condition in saying and a tail on the second flip. That means that we multiply by the probability of a tail on the second flip, which is a half. So if we work out these calculations, half plus half all multiplied by half, of course half plus half is 1, multiplied by half gives us a final probability of half. Now I hope you found this video helpful and that it has helped you to demystify the concept of probability. In the next video we are going to present an IGCSE exam question, so stay tuned in order not to miss that video. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you still have questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and as usual I will see you again in the next video. Goodbye for now.